Good afternoon, distinguished Senator Magnus Abe. It's
Good afternoon.
A pleasure for Holy Dist to meet you today. We actually came to hear from you. What's your view pertaining this election that is going on?
Well, my view is that as at this morning here in Ward 16, the elections were peaceful. We had all voted, and we're back in the house here when we heard that some boys or whoever came out from the bushes and opened fire on the voting precincts, and a lot of the scared everybody away essentially, and people just took off, and then some people came and packed some of the materials and all that. And I was just talking with the electoral officer now and the supervisor, and he was telling me that up till now they've not been able to account for some of the coppers that were taking part in the exercise. This kind of behavior is totally indefensible. In Andoni, here that a very good friend of mine, Moan Etete, has been killed along with others, and we're getting reports of sporadic violence all across River State. That has been the sad story of elections in River State, always remembered more for the violence than for the free expression of the will of the people.
Well, it's quite unfortunate that we have to go back to this same episode again, even while we are trying to move away from it as one of the biggest democracy in Africa. And here in River State, we keep having incidents like this. But we've been following you up, and then from your speeches and your antecedents, we discovered that you're a very peaceful man. And if every other politician will toe your own path and speak in your tone and in your language, without that, these problems will persist, because we believe that one of the problems that is causing this thing is actually the utterances and the body language of the politicians. So what do you have to say to your colleagues who are politicians that have followers that are perpetrating this violence?
I think the most important thing I have to say to every politician is that don't posture, don't brand yourself that you can deliver a unit or deliver a ward, or you own a ward, or you own a local government, or you own a state. Nobody does. In a democracy, you cannot speak for the next person. The whole idea of a democracy is that every single individual above the age of 18 that is registered to vote has a right to vote for whoever he wants to vote for, he or she wants to vote for. So if we accept that as a starting point, then you will understand that the only vote you can control at the end of the day is your own vote. That's the one you can definitely promise another person. That of your wife, you cannot. That of your son, you cannot. In fact, last week in the British Parliament, somebody was accusing the speaker that he has a sticker on his car that is against Brexit. And the speaker said, no, that is my wife's car, that's her sticker. And she has a right to her views, just as he has a right to his views. Is the man suggesting that he should take this stick to his wife, who she can support? He cannot. So I think the minute we begin to understand that in our democracy, a lot of things will change. Because the only way I can deliver my unit is that I'm going to bring a gun and bring boys and force everybody to do what I want them to do, whether they want to or not. That's what is happening in this country. So this whole idea that there is one person that you will talk to and then the whole local government must follow what he says must end. This whole idea that any one person can bring a state on board must end. We must respect other Nigerians. If we respect other Nigerians, we won't have this problem. I went out, I have casted my vote. I voted for the person I want. I voted for Buhari. But I have to understand that the only way I can get other people to vote for Buhari is I will talk to them and tell them why it is better to vote for Buhari. But if they decide not to, they have a right to vote for whoever they want to vote for. And I must respect that right. That is the foundation of democracy.
Wow.
That is the foundation of democracy. So I shouldn't tell anybody that I'm going to deliver my community, I'm going to deliver my ward, I'm going to deliver my unit. I should tell people that I will support you. You support you means I will come out and talk for you and gather support for you. It doesn't mean that I will bring boys with guns to force everybody to vote for you. That's not democracy. And we must be prepared to accept the result of the will of the people. That's what the game is. You know, so I see what has been happening in Rivers State that is spinning all this violence as a fact that the leaders here have not yet understood that their own vote is exactly the same value and quality as that of their driver, and that of the mechanic, and that of the bricklayer. All of us have one vote. So if you want the support of the bricklayer, you talk to him. Tell him how that vote will help bricklayers. Everybody wants to improve. Everybody wants to upgrade. So if you tell the bricklayer how voting for your own candidate will help bricklayers, he will vote for your candidate. If you cannot do that, you don't talk to him until the day of voting. You come and sit down as a big man, carry a pot of money, carry boys with gun, and want to force people to follow what you say. It will not work. It will not work.
Thank you.
I agree with you. Our democracy is now 20 years old. Yes. We should begin to teach our children, we should begin to teach our citizens what democracy means. What we are practicing here in Rivers State, arming people, shooting one another, is not democracy. It's not democracy. Democracy is the free will of the people expressed through the ballot box. Anything that last time we had elections, people were carrying sticks and standing on the line. As you go and vote, they flog you first and tell you where to vote. That's not democracy. You know? So any kind of coercion that we bring into the process, it disables the process. So what has happened today in these states is a sad commentary on Rivers State. And I have been talking about this, and I keep insisting that Rivers people must come out and take a stand against this kind of behavior. I don't care who is doing it. And almost everybody is doing it. You know, we need to put an end to it, honestly.
All right.